What is going on, everyone? We're back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2026 World Baseball Classic qualifiers. Now, these are coming in Friday. Friday, we're going to have all the games played, but we're going to go over everything on how we got here with all the rosters and my predictions and everything like that. So let's get right into this video. We have to start with the 2023 World Baseball Classic, which is where these teams are going to be at. We're going to be covering Pool A in this video. So the two teams participating in Pool A is going to be Chinese Taipei. They obviously were bounced out of the World Baseball Classic in this crazy 5-team, tiebreaker or anything like that. They were actually bounced out on runs allowed per defensive out recorded, and they had the highest, so they were actually bounced out of the tournament. So they will have to re-qualify for this. The next team from the World Baseball Classic will also be Nicaragua, who also got bounced out of this group, going 0-4. Obviously, the game versus Israel was very key. They ended up losing that one 3-1 and were bounced out of the tournament. So these two teams, that's how we got here. With Spain and South Africa, I think they were chosen by the committee. We don't really have like an actual confirmation of how they got here, but we're pretty sure they were chosen by the committee with previous history of the tournament and also being pretty high on the world rankings as well. I'm pretty sure that's how they were chosen. Like I said, we don't really know, but that's what I'm assuming. So that's how we got our 4 teams. We're obviously playing in Taiwan in the Taipei Dome, which holds 40,000 people, which is going to be a lot of people, especially because Taiwan has all the night games and they are the host country. They're going to draw a ton of people to these games. And off the jump, Taiwan is the 3rd ranked country in the world, so that is very impressive. Nicaragua 16, Spain 23, and South Africa at 30. So let's go over the format for this. This is obviously taking place in Taiwan from February 21st to the February 25th. And this is the format of this tournament. This is how it works. We actually have a group stage this time, which I personally like. The last time we did the qualifiers, we had 6 teams, and it was like a 6-team bracket with, 2 getting a bye and everything like that. You basically only played 2 games if you didn't win any, right? So I think this is a little bit better. I like the group stage format way better. You at least get to play 3 games, and you could actually look kind of competitive. And even if you get the 3rd spot, you're not out of it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So if you get the 1st spot in this tournament, you go right to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. And then if you're the 2nd or 3rd seed, you play a Game 7 1-game playoff, which is right here. And if you're the 4th team, you're obviously not qualified, right? So if the team that gets 2nd and 3rd, you play this playoff, and the winner of this is going to go to the tournament. So I like the format a lot better. I feel like it's way more simple as well. I think it's better for like the competitive aspect of the game, because you're going to see a team that's played in the group stage before, and they're going to have to replay in this little Game 7 playoff, which is just going to be incredible. I think it's going to be super exciting as well. So I'm very excited for this. Let's go over the rosters first, and then I'm going to give my predictions on these teams. Starting off with Chinese Taipei, obviously this team is a mix of the 2023 World Baseball Classic and the Premier 12 team that obviously did extremely well in that tournament. This is the first time Taiwan was actually able to break into the top 4 of that tournament, so really impressive from them. So this is their team. Obviously, most of these guys play in the Chinese Professional Baseball League, which is the main baseball league in Taiwan, right? But there's a couple guys in Japan, a couple guys in the minors of the MLB, and there's obviously some veterans. I know Hugh Chang, obviously he played with the Guardians for a little bit, right? So he's obviously kind of a veteran guy, you could say. Then we have some other players that have played in the past, or are in the minors right now, like Leon is. So definitely a lot of talent on this team. You might not know a lot of names on this squad, but if you watch the last World Baseball Classic, you would know this team is really good, especially with some of the stars they had on this squad. So I'm definitely excited to watch this team play. They're going to be incredible. They're the 3rd ranked country in the world, so I'm expecting this team to play extremely well. Now moving on down to Nicaragua. Now this team is very interesting because they have a couple guys in the MLB that aren't unfortunately playing because their actual team said no. So it kind of sucks. They're going to be a little bit weaker, I think. Obviously they have the same thing as Taiwan. A lot of their guys play in the Nicaraguan Professional Baseball League, but we got a couple guys in the MLB, a couple guys in the minors and things like that, a couple free agents, a couple guys playing in the Mexican Baseball League. But just compared to their last time in the tournament, I feel like they're a lot weaker than they were before, which is not good because they didn't play well in the tournament. So we'll see how they do in the qualifier, but I'm not confident in this team. Now moving on over to South Africa, we really don't know where a lot of these guys play. South Africa, they don't really have their own league. They have I guess it's called the Cape Town Baseball Federation. I think that's what it's called, but we just don't really know where a lot of guys play. I guess they have the South African Baseball League as well, but we obviously know a couple guys, playing in the Bundesliga in Germany or the Mexican Baseball League, right? We even have Baseball United being in here, which is pretty cool. And even the league in the Czech Republic is also here, which is pretty cool. So a lot of that international baseball we love to see. But yeah, not confident in this team. I personally don't think they should have been picked to qualify, but that's a whole nother conversation because I just don't think they're actually up to the competitive level of a World Baseball Classic team. I think there were much better options they could have went with that were a little higher in the whole ranking. But that's my personal opinion. I'm not confident in this team either. I'm very unsure on how they're going to play. Now moving over to Spain's roster, I really like this team. Their players are good, but they also have some good coaches. Adam Jones is actually one of the coaches for Spain, and obviously he played with the Orioles most of his career, right? He obviously won with USA in 2017 in that World Baseball Classic and played incredibly well for that team as well. So I'm very excited to see how he's going to do as a coach, especially looking at Spain's roster. We can obviously see a lot of these guys are born in South America, obviously with Spanish heritage. Obviously that's how they're able to play for Spain, but not many guys born in actual Spain, which is kind of funny. But a lot of guys play everywhere, right? We get the Venezuelan Baseball League, we get the minor leagues in Mexico, we get the minor leagues in the MLB, we get the Mexican Baseball League. We just got a ton of leagues in here, and we got a lot of interesting players, and obviously Spain has been very close to qualifying. The last qualifiers, they lost to Great Britain and the Czech Republic. And honestly, one of the games they probably shouldn't have lost. I think it was really bad how they lost. I think they got come back on, which was just not good. Unfortunate for them, but I do think they're going to be really good. That's one thing I think I'll say. I'm really confident in Spain to actually perform. And they got a ton of guys from a bunch of different leagues as well, so it'll be interesting to see how they mesh. So moving over onto my predictions for this one, I think Chinese Taipei or Taiwan is going to be first. I mean, third best country in the world. They just played extremely well at the Premier 12. No doubt in my mind they're going to be able to qualify. I think they're going to win all 3 of their games. It should be pretty easy for them, in my opinion. So I think they're going to get the #1 seed in this group. I don't really think they're going to have any problems. And they're also the home team, so I mean, the stadium noise is going to be incredible for this team. I mean, we saw in the last World Baseball Classic qualifier when they did host, right? I mean, the drums were going crazy, all the noise. I just love the atmosphere over there. So I think they should do well. I think the #2 seed will be Spain. I'm pretty confident in them. I think if they can put up a good fight against Taiwan right here, they're definitely going to look good in the other 2 games. Then they should play in that game 7 right there. And then for the 3rd spot, I really don't know between South Africa and Nicaragua. It honestly might come down to this first game to see who's going to play in that game 7, because I'm not confident in them winning against Spain or Taiwan. So it could come down to this first game they play, which would be really interesting if it did. You know, I think I'm going to have to go with Nicaragua just because they're a little bit more known than South Africa in my opinion. So I'd probably put them 3rd, South Africa 4th. And then in game 7, I'd probably have Spain taking it. Honestly, I think Taiwan and Spain are going to qualify. I think these 2 teams are by far the best out of the ones we have. Maybe I'm underestimating Nicaragua and South Africa, but me personally, I know more about Taiwan and Spain. So that'll be exciting. And then we got Pool B in March a little bit later. But I actually want to look at the pools of 2026. We don't really know where these teams are going to slot in whenever they qualify. I'm pretty sure the plan is to both host both qualifiers, and then they're going to decide where to put them. I don't know. I don't really like this because we already know if Chinese Taiwan were to qualify, we know they're going in Pool C, right? Because it's the Asian group, it seems like at this point. I don't know if I'm a big fan of, you know, how they do the whole pools. It's very similar to 2023, which I feel like is not fun because we already kind of know what's going to happen. Like, there's obviously a couple of changes, like Italy and Canada have switched pools. Because the only real changes are the Netherlands, Italy, and Canada, like all switch pools. That is literally about it. I think most of these are the same, which is kind of unfortunate. Like, I like the rivalry with US and Mexico and Japan and South Korea, Venezuela and the Dominican. Like, those are good rivalries. And even you could throw Colombia in there if they actually do qualify. In my opinion, I would just love to see new pools. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see like this Asian bracket again, like, because I already know what's going to happen. I'd love for them to spice it up is all I'm saying. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the World Baseball Classic qualifiers. If you guys did, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll be covering all of this as we move forward. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.